Hi everybody, it's me, I'm Matt Hawes of The Happy Show, and I'm here today with a video review of a film. It's a documentary called A Room Full of Spoons by Rick Harper of Rockhaven Pictures. This documentary has to do with the making and the story behind the infamous cult classic called The Room by the very eccentric director Tommy Wiseau. I was honored that I was chosen to review this. I don't know if Rick came across my videos in the past I made about The Room that I put up on YouTube whenever I went to go see the Q&A at the Music Box Theater in Chicago back in 2014, or how he caught wind of my channel here on YouTube. But I'm appreciative that he decided to choose me as one of the people he wanted to have review the film. You know, it's a pretty entertaining film, especially a good one for people who are already fans of The Room. You get a lot of insight onto how it was made and get some background there on Tommy. But before I go on with a few of the positives, I want to go ahead and get out of the way some of the criticisms I have. Nothing major. There's some technical aspects that I'll address. They're really minor details, but you know, something that I thought I'd point out anyway. There was some sound level issues I noticed, like whenever they were interviewing Scott Holmes, who played Mike, his audio in particular seemed lower than the rest of the audio that was part of the film, the documentary, and it was slightly distracting. It wasn't a major thing. Also, another technical aspect is there's a few times, like one time I remember the film kind of went black for a few seconds and there was no audio or anything for a couple seconds, but you know, when you're watching a movie, it seems like it's taking longer than it does, and I was thinking, okay, something wrong with the computer. There was a few other times where it froze on a frame. There wasn't no sound or nothing for a second. Small little things like that, which I think might be something they would want to clean up if it's possible, but it's not anything that's going to ruin the movie for you. The documentary is still a very entertaining documentary and worthwhile. But I will say one thing, I was confused whenever I started to watch it. Is it a documentary about Tommy Wiseau? Is it a documentary about The Room? Or is it a documentary about The Room? Because a lot of times Rick himself or the documentary itself seems to be the focus, the subject of the piece. And then other times, of course, most times it is Tommy, but it did make me wonder, okay, what's the real focus of this? Is it how Rick's journey, I guess, where he finds out more information about Tommy, or is it the story of Tommy himself? In general, though, I think A Room Full of Spoons is something that the fans of The Room will absolutely adore. It's got a bunch of information in there. We get to see a bunch of different cast members. In fact, there's interviews, on-screen interviews with pretty much all the major cast members except for Tommy himself and the lead actor Greg Sestero. I don't know if Greg was originally part of this and bowed out or what happened. It seemed like in the initial beginnings of this documentary that both Tommy and Greg were on board. Even without their contributions, you still get a well-rounded idea of how everything came together. Rick and his crew, they talked to different people from the crew members to co-directors, to editors, to fans themselves. That kind of gives you a better idea and understanding about not only the movie itself and how it came about, but Tommy as a person. At some point in the documentary, there is discussion about how Tommy got his funds to make this film. And a woman is mentioned who helped produce the film. And her name was Chloe Zlitsky, I guess is her name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. In fact, I played back the audio on the documentary, and I don't think they actually say her last name on camera, but it is written out there. And anyway, Chloe, which is this figure that was kind of mysterious herself, they say, she was the one who signed the checks for the actors and such, and she was a friend of Tommy's. She is reputedly, or may have been a financial backer on the film. In fact, Rick talks about, and when he narrates the movie, he talks about how his research into the background between Chloe and Tommy led him down a dark path, but yet we're not really told what that is. It's never addressed again after a screenshot of some legal documents. He focuses on the word fraud. Is it a legal reason why he didn't go into it? Is he suggesting something there? Who knows? Maybe it's something that's a major factor for why Tommy was not happy with this film. But nothing is outwardly expressed about that. It's just, but there is some hint that something went on between Tommy and Chloe. And while while I wish there was some kind of resolution within the documentary itself about the issue between Chloe and Tommy, I respect the fact that maybe there was legal reasons why he couldn't have said it. Of course, that begs the issue, why did it get brought up to begin with if they weren't going to be able to address it fully? But perhaps, I guess he was wanting to shine some light on certain details that, frankly, might explain why Tommy was not wanting to continue to work with Rick and his crew on this documentary. This is definitely something that will give you more of an appreciation if you're already appreciating the film. If you've never seen the film before, go ahead and watch it, see if you enjoy it, and if you do enjoy it, I would recommend this documentary. If you don't enjoy it, I mean, what's the point of watching a documentary about something you don't enjoy? But definitely one for the fans. Thanks to Rick Harper of Rockhaven Pictures for sending me the screener and letting me review this film. I was glad to get a chance to view this because I am a fan of The Room, and so to me this was very interesting to watch, and I'm glad to see some of the mystery revealed, even though there was some fun in there being a mystery. That's my video review, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks! Yay!